I do a lot of volunteer work at Christmas time. Yes.
The beard.
Yes.
Gave it away.
It's just, I might as well come out and say it. You see me as Santa Claus around Salvation Army kettles. I usually dress up at least the last week or two before Christmas. And I find that kids just love it. And I'll hold kids on my lap and let them take pictures. There's no charges. It's just, I like it.
This episode of Bring Back the Porch, brought to you by Bernie Leahy, River Street Realty. Let's get you home. And joining me now on the porch, a candidate for Medicinehat City Council, October 20th, Donald B. Knudsen. And the B stands for Brent.
Right.
And you were telling me that everybody's known you as Brent for most of your life.
Yeah.
So when they look on the ballot, though, they're going to see Donald B. Knudsen.
That's what my license says and everything. Like, even my passport says Donald B. Knudsen.
Okay. So how does Donald B. Knudsen come to be a candidate for city council?
Well, I've always been interested in politics. I mean, I was class president sort of thing, eh? And I've run in Kindersley and for council when I lived there, and I've always been keenly interested. And then I started really watching the city council here. For the last couple of years, I've been going pretty much every week, and I got interested in thinking maybe I could be of some help. And then I got on the municipal planning committee. So I've been on that for about since January.
Yeah, interesting work there. You would have been there at the front of the table for the mustard seed decision.
Yes, I was. I made several motions towards that effect, and I still am a little. I'm really interested in seeing that fulfilled in some way. How I don't know, with the new council, I think they're going to come back with another place or maybe the same place. I did a tour of that one, eh? Mm-hmm. And it has got a lot of space, a lot of the kind of space you need, eh? Like there is actually a couple dance floors that you can convert into sleeping accommodations, and lots of little rooms for, Salvation Army or other
ancillary agencies.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have it all in one place.
Yeah. The location, though, being away from where the people seem to be in downtown Medicinehat, that was one of the concerns, was how are they going to get from where they are to where they need to be? And going through a neighborhood that people are going, well, I'm not sure I want those people there.
Yeah. Well, I think in order to help the downtown vibrancy, we have to find someplace away from downtown. You have to move the soup kitchens and all that so that there's no draw for them. Like I said, if it's out there, they might, you might have to take them out there and back and forth and whatnot. There's certain services down here that won't move, but I think to make it more like home, like I have a therapy dog. Mm-hmm. I think I've told you that, and I go to the rehab center down on Kipling Street every Sunday, and so I talk to those people lots, and there's some certain things they need. And one thing they really need is security and, someplace they can take their stuff, lock it up. You see a lot of people dragging around carts and stuff. That's because they're afraid to leave it. If they didn't have that, they could leave it. And I think that would be like home for them. And recreation. That's amazing how many of the guys and girls at the rehab center, they play cards. They do everything you and I would do if we're sitting in a enclosed environment sort of thing, eh? Mm-hmm. And I even donated a belt for the monkey ball championship.
Okay, yeah, that's a sport I've not heard of before.
Oh well, the golf ball with the strings. I don't know.
Okay.
I call it monkey ball. Somebody else might call it something else.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a heart for people.
Yes, I do. I do a lot of volunteer work at Christmas time. Yes.
The beard.
Yes.
Gave it away.
It's just, I might as well come out and say it. You see me as Santa Claus around Salvation Army kettles. I usually dress up at least the last week or two before Christmas. And I find that kids just love it. And I'll hold kids on my lap and let them take pictures. There's no charges. It's just, I like it.
So you have a heart for the community, too.
Yes.
What drew you here? You mentioned that you were in Kindersley previously. What was the attraction to come to Medicine Hat?
I was actually moved to Golden Prairie.
Okay.
That's where I was on town council there, and I was deputy mayor for a while. But what drew me here was my wife's family is from here. So we moved here almost 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your line of work? What have you done of life experience?
Well, first of all, I'm a graduate of biological sciences from Kelsey. It's a technical course, but it leads you into, I worked at veterinary clinics and actually helped manage a couple of them, did all the bookwork sort of thing. And from there, I went farming. And from there, the drought drove me out. I think a lot of people, any listeners will know that the 80s weren't very nice to farmers.
Yeah.
So then I got a job with the federal government as an inspector. Did that for 10 years. Ended up in Wynyard, Saskatchewan, inspecting there. And the plant manager there came up and he said, we need a quality control manager. And of course, he buttered me up. He said, you're the smartest one of the bunch there, so would you like to be your quality control manager? So I did, and did that for 4 or 5 years, and then I was supervisor there. And I really enjoyed that for the most part. I mean, we had a situation there that it was much like JBL or JBS. We had to bring in a lot of immigrants to work because it was hard work.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to teach them all how to do simple things like washing hands and tell them all about the chicken business.
Okay. What single issue, or was there a single issue that drew you into the political realm here in Medicine Hat?
Well, the single issue was her name is Ann Mitchell. That I thought when I first got into it, I thought, well, she's got to go, and she's gone, pretty much. But once I kind of got into it further, I decided that there were other things that needed to be fixed, and I have some ideas, and I'm not shy about telling people about me. Like I said, with a mustard seed, that kind of got my toes wet, and nowadays as I go along, I think about things that I want to see done. I think we really need to do something with the old arena. It's been sitting there for 10 years, and it's not getting any younger.
No.
If I said, you ask people, but you don't get the same answer twice. They say, it's mold, it's this, it's that. But it's basically unusable. So let's tear it down. Clean it off, and then we got a nice piece of land overlooking the river for a big complex. I'd like to see a hotel or apartment building or something, maybe with a couple little restaurants, maybe up high enough that you can see over the river. I think the river is an asset that we don't use nearly enough.
We've heard people talk about that our riverfront is something that's waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
There have been, go back through the history of our town, you go back in the mid-'60s, they were looking at putting a weir in the river to create a bit of a lagoon area where people could do some recreation, boating, maybe having a campground along the river. But then it just kind of dies, and the riverfront idea has sort of, faded back into the background again.
Well, even tearing down the arena, there might be some usable cement there that we could use to build a basic weir and a dock maybe. Why haul it 10 miles away if we can put it right there.
Okay.
Just the clean concrete, eh?
Okay.
I'm in favor of the weir. I brought that up with Parks and Recreation probably 2 years ago, and that kind of died.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the municipal mingles, I think they want to tell you what they're doing. They don't really want to hear what you want them to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the river idea. I mean, I've done work on the history of our city, and the river has. I mean, it was the first highway.
Yeah,
it was one of the first ways that people came into this area, up and down the river, sending coal to Lethbridge for the railway there. There used to be a excursion boat that would go from downtown Medicinehat to, they called it Galt Island, which is down below Redcliffe, where there was some sort of an amusement area there. The river has been, in the past, utilized for that, and then it just, like you say, it just kind of, stopped.
Well, like I said, I went to university in Saskatoon, eh?
Very similar to Medicinehat. Yep.
I mean, it's the same river.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a weir, and it holds the water back, and they can have speedboat run. I don't want speedboats, but they can have boat runs or whatever there, and but also the views.
Mm-hmm.
Like seems like every other year I end up going to the Besborough for the concerts in the park. You know, it's a lovely location.
Yeah. Kamloops is another place that comes to mind where they have a nice beach where people can actually go and dip their toes in the river if they want to and just sit on the shore. Similar kind of a river, the Thompson River, I believe it is. And when I've been to Kamloops, I look like, well, why can't we do that in Medicinehat?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing that maybe you can work on if you are elected on the 20th.
I hope so.
Some other things that, though, are facing anybody who's elected on the 20th, and the top one, I think, probably is the municipally controlled corporation, whether or not we want to move some of the responsibility of the utility and energy areas off the plate of the city council. Are you pro or against?
Okay, I think the municipal MCC has been quashed. I mean, it's been voted down by city council. And I watched Ms. Panko's presentation the other day. Like I say, I go to most of the meetings and council meetings, and I picked number 3 as she had 6 different options. I don't know if anybody knows that, but there's 6 different options. Third option was to hire one person to be kind of a sounding board, an auditor, if you want to say, of what they're doing. You know, come in and an expert that would oversee everything. And that's, I don't think we need to spend $4 or $6 million to switch everything over to just do the same thing. I think we've done it well for over 100 years. I think we can do it again.
Economic development. What would you do to bring people into our area and also retain the businesses that we have?
Well, I think in economic development is something that you, through the Southeast Chamber of Commerce, I've heard them talk about several people that have approached them for guidance and whatever. The City Hall has to also encourage people. You know, if I come to City Hall looking for land to put a business up, well, there should be somebody there to guide them and actually encourage them. We're going to be, when they ever finish the number 3 highway, at the hub of, or the nexus of those 3 highways, really, 41, 1, and 3. And I can visualize a lot of transportation. We have a lot of greenhouses. And where I used to work, we did value added. We didn't just sell you a chicken. We sold you a breast. We sold you a wing. I was in charge of developing some other stuff. Like there used to be a franchise that we used to make Monterey chicken for. And that was chicken breasts in Catalina. Stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying that get a chicken plant. I'm saying that with all the greenhouses, we can do a lot. I also went out to Prairie Cleaners and worked for several days. And that was really amazing. They do a lot with virtually nothing and ship food all over the world to help people. We could do that here.
Okay. Property taxes, utility rates, and that leads into affordability to make Medicinehat attractive and to, help people who are here now. How do we keep our property taxes down and our utility rates down and yet still make sure that we're not killing the golden goose?
Well, I've come out and I've said that I think first off, one of the first orders of business is to eliminate the municipal access fee. Okay, it's a percentage of everybody's bill. The more you use, the bigger your fee is. So I think that'd be a good first step to help with affordability. As far as taxes, I'm not going to jump up and down and say I can freeze taxes because that would take a lot to get back where we're headed. We have a 5.7 forecast for 2026. But in the meantime, we have a good opportunity. I'd like to see us reduce some of the expenses. And that's that side of the ledger that if we quit spending money unnecessarily or frivolously, we can save a lot of money.
One of the big tickets that the city may have to spend money on is the Sama Solar Project. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumb this way.
Oh, you're on the fence.
No, I'm not on the fence. I like solar power, but it has to make money. As with anything that the city's going to do, I think in the future, it can't just be the golden goose that just gives money and doesn't expect a return. If we can make money with the Sama Solar, I'm all for it. But if it's very questionable what it is right now, I think we should lay it off. Okay. I also posted on my my website. I was talking to one of the business owners in town, the Nissan dealer. They have solar panels over top of their cars. And I think we should be talking to all the car dealers in the city about doing that same thing, because he said it pays them to do that because they don't have their rates for insurance are not that high because the hail can't get to the cars.
Interesting.
So, if we got, there's a lot of car lots in town. If they were all covered with solar panels, it could help make our green. And that's the other thing about development and stuff. I think any big businesses or large businesses going to come our way, they'll want green power.
Yeah, we've heard that there are those people that actually need to get that green power. That's one of the things that is necessary, I guess, for them to move into their next phase, is that they need the alternative energy. So yeah.
I only got 8 panels on my roof. I'm sorry, but I can't help out.
Well, that's 8 more than I have. So yeah, there you go. You say you've attended most of the last few years of city council.
Yes.
Your thoughts on how transparent they have been?
Excuse me. I would say not very. There seems to be a lot of in-camera meetings that I agree. There has to be some if they're talking about me, about how much money I make. I don't really want that.
Or your job performance.
Performance, or whatever. That has to be. But and if they want to hash something out, like really hash something out and decide what they're going to do, they probably can't do that in open session. But they go to those things and they come back and they don't say what they did. It's not like, well, this is what we decided on here. Now, what do you think? I'd like to see that changed. The meetings tend to drag on, like not to belittle them or whatever, but there's a lot of talk with no action. They should make up their mind about what they're going to do.
Yeah.
once something comes to council, it should be, like I've seen the heads make presentations. Like I said, talk about Ms. Panko's presentation. I thought it was a very good presentation, but they put it off. You know, nothing more was said about it. And you put something off for 2 weeks, then you start all over again talking about it, or they'll send it back for, what if we did 1% less or something? You know, it's hard.
We've had some of the guests on the porch here from the current council who suggested that maybe their efforts at being more transparent led to the perception that they were dithering, that they really didn't know what they were doing, and it might have actually hurt them.
Yeah, I agree. They look like they're dithering. I got to think about how I can say this without hurting anybody's feelings, but yeah, they all seem to have a set pattern of how they may come to a decision, eh? And they're it's like an old married couple, you know. Yeah, one says one thing and the other one says the other thing, and the next week that one says the same thing and that one says the same thing.
Okay, all right. What kind of a counselor would you be? Would you be a consensus builder? Would you be an independent thinker?
Well, I am outside the box thinker is what I am. As far as projects and stuff go, like I said, I've kind of ran through a few of them that I think that we need to do, and I've got many more that I want to, ideas. You know, you can shoot them down if you want, but there's a lot of things that I think need to be done. I do build consensus. Like I said, I was a supervisor of 300 people, so you can get everybody pulling the same way. Generally, it was, Brent, we need some overtime tonight. See how many people you can get, you know? And it was pretty hard, but a lot of times I could get a lot of people to stay for overtime for an hour or two to get the work done.
Casey Stengel, the old New York Yankees manager, used to say the key to managing is keeping the 5 guys that don't like you away from the 5 guys who aren't sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Very good advice.
Yeah.
Medicinehat Exhibition Stampede has been coming to City Council frequently, looking for some money to refurbish and to expand their operation. If you were sitting at that council table, what would you be telling them?
I would tell them the same thing I said about Samus. Show us that you can make money, and we'll give you money. In other words, it's not going to be a freebie. You don't have money to throw away into something like that. But I don't care if it's 20 years down the road, but if you can show that this, say the new grandstand, adding those nice seats is going to put more butts in them, then we can maybe talk about a 20-year loan. You know, lend them the money. Don't just give the money. Because that's actually, when you think about it, this is city people, the city mouse giving the country mouse money. Okay.
Southside Recreation Center, an outdoor pool is another one that they've started to do some public, meetings, see testing the water to see if it meets with favor of the people. What about Donald Knudsen?
Okay, I'm in favor of it. I'm in favor of it because I think it would help our tourism. You know, it would help a lot of people. I've been told there's a lot of people go to Lethbridge to visit their water park. There's nothing on the south side, and we need something. It's been talked about for another one of those dithering things that's been talked about for years and years and years. Get it over with. Get it done. Build it. I think the money should come out of as many sources as you can. Like, we got the big marble Go Center up there. It could be your Go Center or whatever.
Find a sponsor.
Brian's Fun Spot or whatever, eh?
Yeah. Partnership.
Yeah, partnership with people and sponsoring. Because it's on the south side, I hope somebody would approach the MD, municipal district, about maybe kicking in a few bucks, because it's going to help them a lot. You know, all the people that are outside the city, eh?
Okay.
But then the final kick is it comes out of reserves. We're not going to increase taxes for that.
Okay. Looking at the transit department, I've heard that some in the transit department say they're the forgotten child because it's just there and it's been kicked around as well. Why are we losing money on this? And you were talking about making money with some other projects. What would you do with transit in the city?
Well, I don't think we need another study. I was just leafing through the old study, and the person that handed it to me said they did a study and they didn't do anything about it. So I think we need to really go through the paperwork and see what we can do with it. Actually, tonight, Kelly Allard is sponsoring a ride around on the bus. So I'll be a little more informed after tonight.
Yeah. People say they would use transit if it was more convenient, but sometimes you have to take 3 different transfers to get from where you want to go. The old joke, you can't get there from here. Maybe they need to take a look at, making it easier for people, and maybe more people then would use it.
Yeah. Well, they could have a couple of nexus drop-off points where the bus doesn't go all the way downtown, but one bus goes straight downtown from points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not an easy thing to figure out, but it's one of the things that many of the candidates have come in and talked about.
As a newbie here been like 6 years, I still ask my wife, how do I want to get there? Mm-hmm. I can get there, but what's the shortest route?
Yeah. I have referred to the ballot box on the 20th of October as one of the rarest forms of currency right now because I've got 8 pieces to spend. Why should I invest one of those X's on you?
Well, I think I will represent the people. I represent a lot of seniors, and I have a will to make change. I'm not going to go there just to pull in the big bucks, as they say. Actually, to that end, I'm refusing to raise. I've come out very strongly that I didn't earn the raise, I don't want the raise, and I'll donate. If I have to take it, I'll donate it to charity in town.
The full amount, or just the
raise?
The raise, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So and that's how I look at things. You lead by example. Like I said, I asked people for overtime. I didn't ask for overtime and then go home and put my feet up. I stayed there till they were done and plus more. And that's what I expect out of the employees that are under me. Even though I only have one, I still want to make sure that we get value out of our tax dollars.
Donald B. Knudsen, candidate for Medicinehat City Council on October 20th. Thank you for your visit.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.